to make sure I go to the right microphone. Welcome to this evening's performance by the Crescendo Community Chorus of Oedipus texts. My name is Julia. I am one of the members of this wonderful community chorus. Crescendo Community Chorus is a non-auditioned, non-profit community chorus based in Minneapolis. Tonight we will be performing an array of musical sounds for you. However, please take a moment to make sure that your devices do not make any sounds during our performance. So you can take time now to take your phone out or your iPad and then figure out how to silence it. So I'll give you a second. Or you can just turn it off. We also would like to acknowledge that we live on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Dakota, Lakota, Anishinaabe, Ho-Chunk, and other native peoples. These indigenous tribes have cared for and lived on this land in right relationship. Our first song this evening is written by Dr. William Lithicum Blackhorse, an American Indian pipe carrier in the traditional spirituality and medicine of the Lakota of South Dakota. In the English language, its repeating lyric means, "From above, they are making their voices heard."
you all again for attending. I have to wait. I'm waiting. This was planned. I feel like I'm supposed to start, so I'm going to start. This next piece, oh my God. Please enjoy the orchestra tuning. This was all planned. She cautiously approached the microphone. Thank you for coming. This next piece comes with an obituary, as this composer passed away somewhat recently. And I think you'll find that it's very enjoyable to listen to. It was penned by the composer himself. So, Peter Schickele and P.D.Q. Bach, two sides of the same coin, died on January 16th, aged 88. His own musical career looked fairly good, on paper. He had more than 100 serious works to his name: the National Symphony, the Minnesota Opera, and several string quartets had all commissioned works from him. He wrote film scores too. But Peter Schickele could indulge his dream of serious composing only because, for half the year, he was touring the concert halls of America with the much more celebrated part of his persona, a bibulous, cranky, chaotic remnant of the 18th century called P.D.Q. Bach. This last gasp of the Bach family had been mercifully forgotten until, in 1954 or so, Mr. Schickele found the score of P.D.Q.'s Sanka cantata being used as a filter in a caretaker's percolator in a castle in Bavaria. From that moment, in taverns, attics, trash cans, and even the East River, scores kept turning up. All were in surprisingly fresh condition, although also much scribbled over. As a self-proclaimed professor of musical pathology at the University of Southern North Dakota at Hoople, Mr. Schickele was now on a mission to uncover and promote this mystery composer. It took up the rest of his life and entertained audiences hugely along the way. Research into the Bach family revealed that there was indeed a 21st child born in Leipzig on April 1st, 1742. So backward did he prove that his dates were often given as 1807 to 1742. His very name, PDQ, presumably pretty damn quick, suggested his usual mode was the sulky reverse. Though his father never trained him and he gave up music at age 3, the illustriousness and the sheer productivity of Big Daddy Bach made it hard to avoid that life. The struggle was immense. PDQ's chorale preludes on ah and should could not find anything more to say. His short-tempered clavier was subtitled Preludes and Fugues on all the major and minor keys except the really hard ones. And no one could mistake the rage that animated his verses concertos. Concerto for bassoon, his own instrument, versus orchestra. Concerto for piano versus orchestra. Concerto for two pianos versus orchestra, where the final all-marmalizing chord from the orchestra was inevitably answered by some mocking keyboard tittle or other. Years of work on the scores left Mr. Shickley with two main conclusions. The first was that PDQ was an utterly shameless plagiarist of other people's works. Yet he was so often drunk as he did his borrowings that he forgot how the notes actually went, and in his fumblings could be dazzlingly original. PDQ's originality with instruments was perhaps a sign of genius too. After all, what lovely sounds might emerge from a pastaphone, a dill piccolo, a shower hose, or a trombone, which had the slide of a trombone and the reedy end of a bassoon? A favorite with both men was the lasso d'amore, which, this print is incredibly small. The lasso d'amore, one of those whirly, whistling plastic tubes that were developed by Viennese cowboys who found that once made musical, they were useless to round up cattle. The Louche Leipziger was also a seer of sorts. Internal evidence suggested that though he never went there, he knew the United States and its musical future curiously well. How else to account for the title of his most celebrated mini-opera, Oedipus Tex? How to explain the tenderness of the Christmas carol, O Little Town of Hackensack? Or the vibrant Concerto for Horn and Hard Art, America's first dispenser of hot mac and cheese through an automat? Like PDQ, Mr. Shickley enjoyed larking around with the styles of other composers, expertly noodling popular songs into serious sections, letting weird sounds intrude wherever useful and generally shocking people. Nobody was better than PDQ at that, and luckily the works kept coming. When Peter's friends sympathized with his strange condition, rescuing one highly dubious composer from neglect while getting mostly neglected himself, it was hard to know what to reply. PDQ had indeed netted 4 of Peter's 5 Grammys, but they had joyously broken most of the musical rules together. Twinned in a satire of love, the best response was probably a sigh and a wink, followed by a rousing tootle on the left-handed sewer flute.
course has finally wound up. We'll be proceeding with our story, of which the moral is, anybody who thinks he hasn't made in the shade, who thinks he knows it all, he's headed for a fall. Sooner or later he's going to take his lumps. And speaking of lumps, here comes our protagonist.
Howdy there, I'm Oedipus Tex. You may have heard of my brother Rex. Well, I'm Oedipus Tex, that's what I said. But my friends just call me Ed. I had some trouble coming into town. There are things a man cannot take lying down. I was going through the gulch, which ain't too big, when I met some fellers in a double rig. They said, step aside, and I said, how about you? Ain't no one tells this cowboy what to do. Well, me, I wouldn't budge, and they just say it, until I shot them all, and that was that. Well, howdy there, I'm Oedipus Tex. You may have heard of my brother Rex. Well, I'm Oedipus Tex, that's what I said. But my friends just call me Ed. When I came into this town, there was a Bigfoot hanging around. He'd hit you with a riddle, and here's the deal. If you didn't get it right, you were his meal. Oh, well, I went out and found him at his spot. And I said, okay, Bigfoot, give me your best shot. What starts out on 4 legs, then goes around on 2. And finally walks on 3 before it's through. Well, a baby, then a man, I said, that's plain. And finally, an old geezer with his cane. Now, Bigfoot, all he did was kind of wince. And you better believe he ain't been heard from since. Ooh, howdy there, I'm Oedipus Tex. You may have heard of my brother Rex. I'm a hero, yeah, I'm Oedipus Tex. That's what I said. You heard me, but my friends just call me Ed. Oft at night, when the coyotes are calling my name, makes me wonder if it's time to travel on. Oft at night, when the moon is shining, I wonder if my heart is saying, settle up at dawn. Lately, seems like my thoughts turn to ladies. Now please don't get me wrong, I love my pony best of all. But oft at night, when the coyotes are calling, the moon is shining, and everything is still, I hear that old familiar call. But you know, I kinda like this town. I think I'll find me a woman and settle down. Good folks and plenty of space. Besides, it's nice to be in a place where everybody knows old Oedipus Tex, the brother of the legendary Rex. Yeah, I'm Oedipus Tex, that's what I said. But you know, my friend, just call me Ed. One more verse, I promise. Well, you know me, I'm Oedipus Tex. I'm just as ornery as my brother Rex. Well, I'm Oedipus Tex, that's what I said. But you know, my friend, just call me Ed. I lied, there's another one. Well, howdy, 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 I'm Oedipus Tex. Someday I'd kinda like to know whatever happened to my older brother Rex. Yeah, I'm Oedipus, 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 Oedipus. That's what I said, like a lot of times. But my friends, just call me Ed.
And it wasn't long before he found the woman of his dreams. Her name was Billy Jocasta, the queen of the rodeo.
My heart is a hound, and it's baying at you. Don't chase him away. Let him in, let him stay. And I know he will always be true.
And she's laying for you. Don't shoo her away. Let her roost, let her stay. And I know you will never be blue.
I wouldn't blame you if you said you hated me, Billy Joe, seeing as how I shot your husband and all. But the way I see it, he was too old for you anyway. You need a young man's love. And I do love you, BJ. I honestly love you. My heart is a bull, and he's charging at you. Oh, don't step aside. Do not run, do not hide. 'Cause I know he's the right bull for you.
A man's gotta do what a man's gotta do, Ed. And the way I figure it, if you hadn't have killed him, he probably would have died of something else eventually anyway. I love you, Ed. I honestly love you. I love you so much. I love you more than Texas pecan pie and the UT Longhorns.
Honey,
I love
we're
you more than
supposed to sing here.
Our
hearts
are a team,
and they've only begun. There's so far to go.
But there's one thing we know, and
it's two hearts are better than one. Oh yes, it's two hearts are better than one. But one. I love you, Billy Joe.
I love you, Ed. I honestly love you.
But there was a fly in the ointment. The town was plagued with plague. Everywhere you looked, people were dropping like flies. So right after they got back from their honeymoon, they went to see Madame P, a shepherdess who did some fortune telling on the side, among other things. And they asked her why the town was plagued with plague, and she told them they didn't really want to know. And Oedipus said, "Tell me anyway." And Madame P said, "You asked for it."
You murdered your father, you married your mother, you rascal. You're my kind of guy. Your aunt is your sister, your uncle, your brother, you rascal. You're my kind of guy. When you were a baby, they tried to persuade me to take you and leave you to die. I just couldn't do it. I tried, but I blew it. Let's face it, you're my kind of guy. The gods are ticked off, and now someone must pay. The gods are ticked off, and now someone must pay. The things you have done, well, they must have been fun. You're a rascal, my kind of guy. And if you vamoose, you will turn these folks loose, and you'll always be my kind of guy. The goods are ticked off, and now someone must pay. Do you see it? The goods are ticked off, and now someone must pay. The things you have done, well, they must have been fun. You're a rascal, my kind of guy. Someone must suffer, and listen here, Buster, you know that. It ain't gonna be you.
When Billy Joe heard this news, she wasn't too pleased. She went back to the ranch and got herself some rope and flung it over the branch of her favorite tree. And as she tied a hangman's knot, she sang this little ditty.
Goodbye, cruel world. I've had enough of you. There's nothing you can do to me that hasn't already been done. Goodbye, cruel world. You have it in for me because I'm royalty. But queens are just like anyone else. Queens are just like anyone else, you know. Queens over now. In just a moment now, you won't have good old Billy Joe. You won't have good old Billy Joe Costa to kick around anymore. Mark a world or two, not au revoir. I say not you. Goodbye, cruel world. In spite of all you've done, I've had a lot of fun. But now the time has come. But now the time has come. But now the time has come to tell you I found myself someone new. Here he comes down from on high, ready to take me to that roundup in the sky. Cruel world, goodbye.
When Oedipus heard what she had done, he was really nonplussed. He didn't hardly know what to do with himself, and rushing to her side in a fit of grief, he took the rhinestone barrettes from her hair and put out both his eyes. And as soon as he had put out both his eyes, he kind of wished he hadn't. And he cried out to anyone who would listen.
My eyes, my eyes. Now what am I gonna do for eyes?
moral of the story is, of course, don't love your mother, partner, save it for your horse. I guarantee you will be filled with great remorse. If you give your mama love, you should be saving for your horse. Save it for your horse. You got to save it for your horse. Don't be a prisoner of remorse. Take your love and save it for your horse.
Save it for your horse. You've got to save it for your horse. Don't be a prisoner of remorse. Take your love and save it for your horse. Save it for your horse. You've got to save it for your horse. Don't be a prisoner of remorse. Take your love and save it for your horse.
Save it for your, save it for your, save it for your horse.
Save
Save it for your, save it for your horse.
Don't be a prisoner
Call me prisoner of remorse. Take it out and save it, save it, save it, save it for your horse. I'm telling you, save it for your, save it for your, save it for your horse. Save it for your, save it for your horse. Do not let it call me prisoner of remorse. Take it out and save it, save it, save it, save it for your horse. I'm telling you, T-R-A-G-E-T-Y.
I was trying to think of how to segue from that to this, and I couldn't come up with anything except to ask if anybody knew how to spell tragedy, but that just felt really lame. Okay, so my name is Julia, again, back. First of all, I would like to thank everybody who helped us complete our first full season as a Crescendo Community Chorus. So this includes our artistic director, Randall Bikema, our accompanist, Franco Holder, and the work of our board members, Susan Schultz, Nancy Gashot, Ann C.K., Ellen Clues, and Jim, oh God, Ramnarine. I also want to thank any of you who have already made donations to our community chorus in the past. And if you haven't, you can join an elite group of people who have made donations to Crescendo Community Chorus. And with your donations, we may be able to costume more than just our 4 lead members. If you would like to make a donation to our chorus, if you enjoyed what you heard and saw tonight, you may make a donation in one of 2 ways. The first way is by taking out your cellular device, but not right now. Well, it's silent, so it doesn't matter. And you can scan the QR code on the back of your program. It's that weird square thing that looks like the Rorschach test. You have to open the camera app on your phone and then point it at the square. Don't take a picture because a yellow little thing will come up at the bottom. And If you don't know how, just ask a young person. If you prefer to mail us a check, you may take one of the pre-addressed envelopes that was in your program, write a check for any dollar amount and cents if you want to, place it in the envelope, put a stamp on it, maybe write us a nice note, and then put it in your mailbox and put the little flag up so the mail carrier will take it. If you don't know how, ask an older person. Thank you. And this is for mail in the mail, not your email, not like electronic. It's at your place of residence. If you do have an envelope and you want to make a donation tonight, you certainly can put some money in the envelope, and there are baskets out in on those tall tables in the lobby. Otherwise, I was told that any of the ushers, any of our friends who are dressed all in black standing at the doorways, someone told me that they will be very aggressive in taking your money, so. And lastly, thank you again for spending your evening with us. We are so grateful to each and every one of you for coming and showing us your support and your love for not only us, but also music and the spirit of coming together to create art. So thank you. We have one more song to sing. It's called "The Saints Go Marching In." If you would like to make some beautiful art with us, you are welcome to sing with us. Thank you.
I'll turn around and look at you in the good places to sing, okay?